Hi friends! In today's video I'm going to demonstrate 3 cards all using the same card layout. Now the card layout is a fabulous design, but the cards are each going to be stepped up a little more than the others. So the first card is going to be perfect for the beginner stamper. It's a simple card but beautiful. And then the second card stepped up a little bit, and the third card is also stepped up, but it also features a fun little technique. So I can't wait to share these cards with you. So let's get stamping. Here's what I'm using for today's card. I'm using the new A Touch of Ink Celebration stamp set. This set is absolutely gorgeous, and the images are quite a good size. So we have the hummingbird, and we have the butterfly and leaves and flowers, and it's a 2-step stamp set, which I love, love, love 2-step. So I'm going to come back to that. Now this is free with the qualifying order. Here in Canada, it's $120. It can earn you the stamp set for free if this is what you want to get with your celebration gift. And it is absolutely a must-have in your stamp collection. I am also using some of our new Fine Art Floral Designer Series paper. Now this is from our new mini catalog that started on January the 5th. And it is part of the Fine Art Floral Suite. And it is stunning, stunning, stunning paper. I've been using this a lot. Look at all these beautiful patterns, and of course they're all double-sided. So I am going to use this pattern. So here's what you need to make one card. So I have my 10.5 by 4 inch piece of Whisper White, and I have my 5.5 by 4 1/4 piece of Bumblebee, and then I have my strip of Designer Series paper that measures 4 by 1 1/4. So because I'm making 3 cards, I actually have all the supplies. I had an extra set already for the third card, so I'm going to set these aside because I'm going to show you how easy this card layout is, but you can also step it up. So I'm going to do a great card for beginner stampers and then step it up using a few extra products. So the first card I'm going to demonstrate is just a perfect card for beginners, or if you're just wanting to make a simple card. So what I'm going to do is take my 2-inch circle punch, and I'm going to put it in as far as it will go on the right side. So just pushing it right in and punch. This is going to be put away for another card. I love our double-sided paper. So this is the reverse of this side. Isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous. All right, I'm going to use my liquid glue and just line this up right along the bottom. This is going to go right along the bottom right here. So I'm just going to line that up. And you know what? I'm going to do that for the other pieces as well. Do that. We'll do all 3 at once. Why not? Okay, so there are my 3 pieces. I'm going to put 2 of them aside. Okay, so I am going to take the outline of my flower first. So this is the one I'm stamping right now. I'm going to put that on my block. And I am going to use my Bumblebee, which of course matches the color of the cardstock. And I'm just going to open this up and just stamp it right inside like that. So it's going to peek through the circle. Now I'm bringing this piece in, which is this piece. This is the 2-step part. And I'm going to go into the Bumblebee again, but I don't want to use full strength ink. So I'm going to stamp off so it's a little bit lighter. And I'm just going to go right on top. And it's not meant to line up perfectly because it's meant to have that watercolor look. Okay, that's what I have. And now I'm going to stamp my sentiment. So I'm going to use the Best Wishes, again from the same set. And I'm only using my Bumblebee ink. So just one ink pad for this particular card. And I'm just going to stamp the best wishes right here. Okay, so this is what I have. And now I'm going to add some ribbon. So I am using the Bumblebee 1/4 inch ribbon. And what I'm going to do is take my tear and tape and just line it up right across the top of that designer series paper and lift off the backing. So I'm just going to put it on right there, wrap it around. Have a little bit more ribbon than I actually need, but that's all right. I'll trim off the extra. And where those two pieces meet is where I'm going to add my knot. Just putting a glue dot right on top where those two pieces meet, and then this knot is going to go right on top, and I'm going to put another glue dot underneath the end just to hold it into place. And to finish the card, I'm bringing in some rhinestones. So I'm going to put a rhinestone here, and we'll put a rhinestone here. And then inside the card, I'm going to add a couple of rhinestones in here as well. Now, I'm going to add some glue behind this. Bring in my Bumblebee piece of cardstock and then just layer this right on top. And doesn't that cardstock just pull everything together so nicely? I always say that our color coordination with Stampin' Up! Is what makes our cards beautiful. No matter how simple your card is going to look beautiful because of that color coordination. So there is the first card. And now in the second card, I'm going to take the same layout, but step it up a notch. So I'm using the same flower stamp, but this time, instead of stamping the outline in the Bumblebee, I'm stamping it in my black Memento ink pad. So again, just kind of lining it up there. Doesn't have to be perfect, but that turned out pretty good. And I'm going to take my best wishes again, this time in the black Memento, and stamp that on. And just like last time, I'm inking it up with the Bumblebee, but I'm not going to stamp it off. This time I do want the full strength of that ink pad. So again, line it up. So pretty. And now I'm going to actually stamp the butterfly on the inside of the card. And now I have a piece of scrap Whisper White. So I'm going to stamp the butterfly again. Now I only need the wing portion. So I'm just going to stamp that down like so. And I'm going to use my light and dark Pool Party Stampin' Blends to color in the wings. So I'm going to start with my light. And I'm going to do the same thing inside. Now I'm going to go in with my dark. Now I'm taking my light smoky slate and I'm going to color in the body on this one. Not going to worry about the body on this one because I'm going to just cut out the wings on that one. I'm going to cut out the wings. And I'm literally just following right around the image like so. And it's always easy when you're fussy cutting like this to turn the paper, not just your scissors when you're cutting. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of glue just along here. Not over the entire piece because it's going to overlap a little bit. So this piece here is going to overlap. So keep that in mind if you're making this at home. You don't want that glue coming through the circle. So I'm just matching up, lining up the wings with that inside image. And you see why I didn't need to stamp the body? Because it's coming through. It's showing through from that inside circle. Okay, so then when you open it, there's the rest of the butterfly. And now it's time to add our ribbon. I'm going to take a glue dot and put that right down here where those two ends meet. And then I already made a ribbon bow, so that's going to go on right there. And now some rhinestones. And then add some rhinestones on the inside. So I'm going to put a medium-sized rhinestone here, and then two little ones, and then one right in here. And you know what? I'm going to take my clear wink of Stella and add some shimmer glimmer to those wings. Now it's time to add this to that bumblebee cardstock. You could use your Stampin' Seal. I have been using my liquid glue a lot just because it's what I've got handy, but I do love our Stampin' Seal as well. So there's the second card, stepped up just a little bit. And now I'm going to do a third card with a fun little technique involved. Okay, so just like the last one, I'm going to stamp the flowers on the inside. And my bumblebee to go on top. My best wishes. Actually, let's use a different sentiment this time because there's some really beautiful sentiments in this set. I'm going to use, what am I going to use? I'm going to use Thinking of You. Oh no, I'm not. I grabbed Thank You So Much. I'm going to use Thank You So Much. So, I'm going to stamp that here. Probably a little higher than I need it to be, but that's fine. And I'm going to go ahead and add my ribbon now. I put it on crooked because remember, I'm really good at putting things on crooked. It's my secret power. And smudge mark. So that's where my diamonds are going. Really should wash my fingers. Okay. And actually I'm going to go ahead and add my rhinestones on the inside too while I have them handy. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing that I did on my last card. I'm going to stamp my butterfly on the inside like so. Okay. So I've got a little bit of its body coming through. And now what I'm going to do is take a scrap piece of the same designer series paper, and using the same stamp with that outline, I'm going to stamp right onto that designer series paper, and that's going to do all the coloring for me. So I want to make sure I get the colors that I want. So I'm just going to stamp right down. Okay. And I'm going to take my clear wink of Stella, color in the wings, get that little shimmer. And again, just like I did last time, I'm going to cut out the wings. There's my wings, looking so pretty. And again, just kind of avoiding this section that's going to overlap over that circle a little bit. So I'm just going to put my glue near the top of the wings, lining it up just like so. So my designer series paper is coloring in the wings. It's pulling in that color down here. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the inside. And of course it's going to have a bit of a different pattern than the outside, but that's still going to look beautiful. And this technique is known as paper piecing. And it is such a fun technique, my friends. If you have never heard of paper piecing, if you've never done this before, it is so cool. It's almost like paper dolls, making your clothes for your paper dolls. And we have some cute little stamp sets where paper piecing would be perfect. Doesn't that look pretty? Love it. So here's one I did earlier, and I used darker colors of that designer series paper on my butterfly. So in order to have room to stamp my whole butterfly on the front of my card, I punched my circle closer to the edge on the right. Otherwise, there's not enough room to stamp it on the front. So if you want to do it this way, make sure you don't put your punch in all the way. But that looks beautiful too. So let me show you the first one. Here's the first one. Very simple, very pretty, just using one ink pad. And then kicked it up a notch by adding the butterfly, where I colored in the wings on the inside. And then of course this one where I used the designer series paper to color in the wings, to do all the artwork for me. I'm going to show you some more samples that I made using the exact same layout as the cards I just did. But this time the cards were made with the Paper Blooms designer series paper. This is also free during celebration with a qualifying order. So if you spend $60, that's the threshold here in Canada, you can choose this package of designer series paper as your free gift. So let me just show you the beautiful patterns. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the cards that I made. So here's one that I made using the hummingbird. And for the coloring on the hummingbird, I did use the second stamp. And the designer series paper pattern that I used was this one right here. So, and there's the inside. And stamp the thinking of you up on top. And then the second one I made was using the butterfly. Oh, and I should mention this is Rococo Rose, and on the hummingbird I used Rococo Rose and then a bit of Seaside Spray and Night of Navy. So I just tapped my ink pads onto the stamp before stamping it onto my paper. So that's how I got the three colors. And then this one I used my Bumblebee again, Bumblebee cardstock and ribbon and ink, and I did use this second step for the stamp instead of coloring it with my markers. And then the inside I used the really pretty leaves, and then also two-step stamping and Hello Friend, so that you can actually see the Hello Friend through the circle as well. And then, oh, and the designer series paper on this one is this paper right here. So this is the reverse side, and that's the one that I picked, of course, to coordinate with the leaf stamp. And then the last one I did was again using the paper piecing technique. So the hummingbird, the outline is actually stamped on this paper right here. So all I did is I just positioned my stamp over the paper until I found how I liked it. So to do that, ink up your stamp so you can see the outline and how it's going to look on your paper. And then all you do is you just move your stamp around on your paper to see how it looks and where you want the pattern to come through. And then you just stamp it and cut it out. So I stamped it so I had some of that Rococo Rose on the hummingbird's head, and some white, and then some blues in the wings. And then again, the paper did all the coloring for me. And then the inside, I have the flower. Now I also have a beautiful sentiment and a happy birthday. This is from another new stamp set in our mini catalog, and it is called Happy Thoughts. And it's a wonderful stamp set, all different occasions, and it's great because it's got a stamp you can use on the front of the card, and then a coordinating sentiment you can use on the inside of the card. So for this one, I stamped Happy Birthday, and on the inside the saying reads, "Today is great because it's all about you, the great person you are, the great things you do." So I thought that was perfect for a birthday card. So as you can tell, this is a fabulous card design. It's a layout that you can use with so many different stamp sets for so many different occasions. You can keep it as simple as you want, or you can step it up as much as you want, and I hope you have a lot of fun making cards at home using this design. And all of these products are available through my online store. If you live in Canada, I have the link down below. If you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, please contact me. I'd be more than happy to help you. And if you live outside of Canada and you're looking for a demonstrator near you, just visit stampinup.com. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Stay well and happy stamping.